everybody, welcome to the show. Come out, step into the light. My name is Alushka.
And my name is Tuan. The dress is so nice.
Actually, this is my grandma's dress and I was quite thoughtful about wearing it.
Really?
But then I was like, this kind of looks nice. I can do with this.
Oh, cool. This is my grandpa's shirt.
Oh, you kind of make your grandma's shirt look good today, huh?
And look so new, huh? Okay.
Well, today I think we have a guest from I don't know where, but I know that we are going to be talking about bisexuality. That's pretty much what I know. So how about we invite our guest and hear more about him?
Okay, I'm so excited. Welcome our guest today.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good.
What's your name? Can you introduce us?
My name's Andy. I'm from London. London in the United Kingdom.
Oh, London?
Yeah. So he started asking questions and then eventually it kind of blew up. After that, my dad was not nice at all. And so it became very abusive. The last time I spoke to my dad was when he wanted help to sort of end his life. Because he was having a lot of in pain. 20th of May 2012, he finally... 31, and I've been living here in Vietnam for about 3 years now.
3 years?
What's your job?
Teacher.
Okay, same like me.
Yeah.
Why you choose Vietnam?
I had colleagues working here. So I was working in a different country at the time, and then they invited me to come to Vietnam and work. So came to Saigon, fell in love with Saigon, did a short work spell in Hanoi, and then came back here. Right now I live over in District 4.
And how do you find Vietnam? You
It's really
adjust to
nice.
it well?
Took me a few weeks to get used to it when I first came in 2016. So just getting used to the weather, the traffic, the food.
Did you get sick or anything?
You get sick a few times, but then you get trial and error. So you eat some food.
Trial and error?
Trial and error. So you eat something, if your body agrees, you go back.
Yeah.
If your body doesn't agree, you don't go there again.
Okay.
Because you're still getting used to
trial and error.
trial and error.
Oh, sorry.
I like to eat. Eating's a big hobby of mine.
Do you have any dishes you like?
I like all the local dishes like com tam, bún chả, Hanoi. When I went to Hanoi, I was trying to find bún chả Hanoi, but then in Hanoi it's just called bún chả.
Oh, of course.
You stay in Vietnam like 3 years.
Yeah.
So can you speak Vietnamese?
I can speak some. So when I'm having a good day, I can speak quite a lot, and sometimes I get a bit forgetful with the tones. My teacher hits me a lot, so.
Oh,
But that's
you know about
okay.
that too.
Kind of normal for teachers to like give them a little slap sometimes. You sometimes see it in the public schools, and so I just accept it. It's okay. I made a mistake. Okay.
Oh, maybe I like it.
What is the most interesting thing in Vietnam, in your opinion?
Probably all the different types of foods and the regional dishes. I've had a lot of food from Saigon, trying new things in Hanoi, different local specialities. I don't like mắm tôm.
Mắm tôm.
Hate it.
Yeah.
I hate
It's the smell,
the
like
smell, right?
fermented shrimp paste.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you eat durian?
I can sometimes eat it, but only if it's cold, because sometimes it's super smelly, and
Yeah.
especially when it's warm. I still haven't got used to the taste sometimes in things like bánh beer.
Bánh bia. Bánh bia, that's the white
Yeah,
thing, right?
It's like the local speciality of Mekong.
People can see it. Bánh pía is the same with bánh trung thu moon cake.
Okay.
And at the beginning of the show, Linh told me that you are bisexual.
Yes.
When did you recognize that?
I started to notice that when I was in my teens, like 13, 14. I started to notice I had an attraction to both genders.
Oh.
So it's more of like a scale thing for me. Sometimes I really like him, sometimes I really like her, but it's not always a definite thing. It's very fluid.
The same. I also have attraction to both men and women. But for me, it's more of a case of what's going on inside of them, not about what their body or whatever looks like. Another thing that I also find very interesting in my case is that I feel more attracted to men on a relationship basis and more sexually attracted to women on like short-term, like
Lust.
Yeah, lust kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Is that the same for you?
Sometimes. At the moment, it's more of an attraction towards women. But when I was younger, I was sort of experimenting and then doing more with men. Sometimes it was kind of like a phase. I was, more men this year and more women this year. When I was younger, I was always trying to do one for one. Like I sleep with a woman. So I have to sleep with a man now just to be extra.
To
And then
balance yourself.
now I've sort of settled and I've calmed down a lot. When I was younger, I was really kind of promiscuous. And you're kind of finding yourself and experimenting with all the times. And then sometimes you end up in places which aren't great. And after that, you kind of expose yourself to a lot of bad and negative situations.
Like a spiraling down black hole of just trying to figure out who you are, but actually already inside of you.
Yeah. Because when you're young, you're still kind of confused about who am I, what do I want, and what do my parents expect of me, and what does society want.
Oh, may I ask you which gender, like guy or girls, which one that you take attraction first?
I was first attracted to girls.
Girls.
And then when I got kind of older and more hormonal, I was also having attractions to men as well. So it was kind of, I was learning about, sexuality at kind of the same time with men and women, but I just wasn't able to kind of put my finger on what was going on.
What age did you start experimenting?
10.
10?
Yeah. 10th grade, what?
10th grade,
Oh,
not
10th
10 years old.
grade.
Oh, no, not 10 years old.
Yeah,
Gosh.
that's okay.
Okay.
But how you notice that you take attraction on the guy? You have feeling with your classmate?
Yeah, it was just like a couple of guys that felt similarly in my year. You kind of noticed the attraction, like you were getting changed for gym, showering.
Get shy?
A little bit shy. But then also, when I was younger, my parents didn't let me have girls sleep over. I was only allowed boyfriends to stay over, like, not boyfriends, but, boys.
Boy.
And then sometimes they would stay over and it would be just normal chilling, having out. But then there would also be like a little experimentation happening.
Ooh, I wish I did something like that.
So like sleepover, that kind of engaged, because you were kind of finding your hormones. And then after that, you were kind of, should we do this? We can play PlayStation or get freaky.
Get freaky. PlayStation or get freaky? Which one?
Yeah. So
Get
play
freaky.
some Crash Bandicoot or whatever.
And how did you feel the first time that you decided to open up to a boy?
I didn't open up to the world until I was in my early 20s because he wasn't out at that time. So it was kind of very much a private thing that we didn't share, because when you're still in school, you can still get bullied for it quite a lot, especially like the early 2000s and the late 90s. So I had this attraction to women, which was public. But then in my private self, I only could have these feelings like to myself or with very select groups of people.
So, like, how long after that you decide to come out?
I was staying with my grandmother at the time.
Grandmother.
Because I was doing my MA. I was doing my master's in philosophy. At the time, I was having some counselling, just to get clear with who I am and what's going on inside, because there was some conflicts in terms of like my identity, and then sometimes you just need someone to talk to, someone professional. But what I'd forgotten was that my forwarding address was to my parents' house. So my parents found, my mum, but my dad found a letter.
From the psychologist?
Yeah, but on the back of the letter was the return address, and it happened to be a hospital. So he started asking questions, and then eventually it kind of blew up.
And what happened after that?
After that, my dad was not nice at all. So lots of bullying. He asked me to stay at my grandmother's and not to come home. And so it became very abusive, but not in a physical way, but rather in a mental way, like text messages or phone calls or arguments at home, and then you would hear about it. Mum would take my side, Dad would take his side. They would argue because it would be about me. And then Dad would get angry and send me messages or phone me at that time.
That's like early 20s.
So I would have been about 20, 22, 23, kind of around that time. So still like a young man. So it was quite difficult to kind of process and...
But at least you had the psychology, like the psychologist to go to and talk to about.
Yeah, so I kind of saw them for a little while, but then because he knew and then I couldn't go home, it was a train ride away from my parents' house. And I was living in a different county, so I had to go into London and then back out to London and then down to the hospital. So it's kind of about 2 hours round, like to get there and then 2 hours back. So it became really difficult. So I ended up stopping that counselling because I just couldn't get there. And with counselling, you need to go regularly. If you can't go regularly or like once a week or however many times your psychologist wants you to go, it doesn't make sense to go because you're not seeing any progress. You're not developing as a person. So you're kind of taking 2 steps forward and then 1 step back.
Oh yeah, so going to counselling is like actually just going to the meeting is very important. Did your dad ever accept your...
No.
Never?
Never.
Oh.
So yeah, he didn't accept it, and then eventually he became very sad, depressed. He was drinking a lot because he was having a lot of in pain. So 20th of May 2012, he finally... But it's okay now. It's okay now. It was kind of a two-sided coin when my dad passed away. It was sad for my family, but inside it was kind of relief.
Sorry to say this, but it could be like a kind of monster that is making you believe that you are a bad person in the family, which you are not.
Like, so I was made to feel like the black sheep and ostracized and kicked out. So when he ended his life, I was kind of relieved because I wasn't getting bullied anymore.
Bullied by your own father.
Yeah. So when that stopped, it was kind of a weight off my shoulders. The following years, my grandmother passed, and then I was kind of working, and then I kind of had enough of life in the UK. I kind of decided, right, okay, I'm gonna take a fresh start and find myself again. So I ended up going to Australia for a year. I had a partner, lived there.
Partner was a man or woman?
It was a woman. So then we lived together. She's now married.
Oh,
so that's great. And it didn't kind of work out. We stayed together for a year. So I got an offer to work here. So then I came here.
Wow, that's so deep.
No,
I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Oh, no, it's absolutely fine. It's 2012, so it's a long time, and I had a long time to process everything. I couldn't think about my dad because I had my grandmother to look after. So my mom, my brother and my sister lived far away. And I still felt bad about going home because I wasn't allowed. So I kind of kept that wish, even though it was my father's wish. My family had said, okay, so we're going to choose him for a while and try and help him because my dad was he had many problems. Whereas I was hurting, but I wasn't in danger. Whereas my dad was. So they decided, okay, Andy, we're going to cut off things with you for a little while and just focus on him. You'll be okay. And I was fine. But you feel like you've been abandoned a little bit because I'm left to cope with my grandmother by myself.
By yourself, yeah, your whole family is taking care of the bully.
Yeah.
And leaving you because you are mentally okay to do it.
I'm mentally okay, and that's fine. They made a choice, and it was the right choice for them at that time. I didn't like it, but you have to move on. You can't resent your family for choices that they make.
And you chose forgive and forget.
Always. It's the best way to be.
Wow.
So Andy, with your opinion, do you think that a bisexual guy needs to come out? Because you still can in relationship with girl.
It's best to be truthful to yourself.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that Even though it might be, like for me, for instance, I mainly find like women attractive. But then a few years ago, it was mainly men.
Men.
So it's kind of, if you're going to have a relationship with someone, you need to kind of be open and truthful. It's an important part of you, your identity. To not tell anyone or to not come out as a bisexual male or a bisexual female, you're hiding a part of yourself. That's not healthy. It doesn't have to be fireworks. It just has to be an acknowledgement that this is who I am. You can either accept me or leave me alone.
I kind of feel that being bisexual, I don't really have to talk about it that often. But if they had to ask me, do you think that girl is attractive? I'll say, yes, of course she is. And then it starts, whoa, like, I didn't know you're bisexual.
Sometimes it's difficult to start a relationship when you're bisexual, and especially after you tell them, because they're never quite sure, well, am I enough? But what people don't realise is that if you cheat, you cheat. So the fact is, if I'm committing to you and I want to be with you and I care for you and I love you, I'm with you. I'm not with X, Y, and Z.
Cheating is cheating,
Cheating
whether
is
you are
cheating.
single, bisexual, gay, whatever, cheating is cheating.
I think as long as you're honest with them, it will be okay. I know lots of married Vietnamese couples, but the man has feelings for men. So what's happening is they're getting married, and then they've got this part of them inside where they're going like, oh, Andy, can you come and help us out? Oh, come and let's play for a little bit, and then he can have his thing in kind of a secret.
I feel you 100% in that. As a bisexual, you usually get looked at as like a little bit of a tool to other people's relationship.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's bisexual, she can, do both of us.
Yeah, sure. I'll invite her for a threesome. It's my birthday. Do you know what I mean? Or
yeah, like we don't deserve real love.
yeah. What I want is to be with someone that I care about and I'm prepared to commit to. But at the moment, you have so many opportunities to meet all sorts of crazy people.
Of course.
So, when did you experience your first love?
First love? Probably when I was around 14, so I had my first relationship for 4 years.
4 years?
4 years.
Wow.
14 years
14 years old.
That's the whole high school.
We were together till around 13th grade.
13th grade, what is 13th grade?
Oh, well, in the UK it's a little bit different. So we have grades 12 and grade 13, and then we go to university. So you finish grade 13 and then you're 18. And then we kind of went to university, and by the 4th year we were kind of, I'm going here and you're going to go study somewhere else. So we kind of decided, let's call it a day, go to university and just have fun. I think she's married to a woman now.
Married to a woman?
I think so, in the States.
Wow.
I think they live in Canada. Had a couple more relationships, and then not really long-term ones. And then went to Australia, had a relationship with a woman there, and then came here.
And have you had any serious relationships with men?
Not really. When I was young, I was kind of worried about what people would think and what people would say. So when I was having relationships with men, it was kind of a sexual thing only.
Same how I feel about women.
I have a desire that I want children one day, and I want to be... I have more of an emotional connection with a woman, where it's more of a physical attraction sometimes. So it's not like every man and his dog. Like, I don't love every man. But some people, I've got friends and stuff, and they're bisexual as well, but they prefer more men. So it doesn't really matter. It's kind of where you are on the scale, and are you a good person? Because if you're a good person, you can have a relationship with boy, girl, transgender woman, transgender man, pansexual.
That's it.
You can have a relationship. If you want a monogamous relationship, you can have one. And as long as you treat that person with respect, everything will be great.
I always say that, like, your happiness is not supposed to just come from one source.
Yeah.
Like, your happiness can come from many sources, but if you want to have a strong relationship with somebody, there has to be honesty and trust about that.
It began to fail when we stopped trusting each other. That just happened because we were kind of fighting a little bit more. my visa was kind of running out, and I had to stop working because of that. And then she became the breadwinner. She was paying for things more than I could afford, and we were trying to say, okay, well, let's try and get a marriage visa. It was too expensive, we didn't have the money, the visa was running out, so we decided, okay, let's live together, let's enjoy our last few months together, and then we'll go our separate ways. And now she's happy, she's married, so now I'm here just, chilling, trying to find the right one, and then we'll see what happens.
And what do you think of LGBT community in Vietnam? Is it so different with LGBT in London? In
London, it's very much more, it's very open. There's lots of places that you can go, lots of bathhouses, lots of saunas, lots of gay bars. Like now it's very fashionable in the UK. And because everyone accepts it, we have gay marriage, we had civil partnerships under Labour governments.
Quite normalised
It's
right
normal now. You kind of look at things differently. The communities there in London is great. We don't get too much hate crime. There is still some. There was an incident a few months ago on a bus. But the LGBT community in London and the UK and Western Europe is 9 times out of 10 fine.
And in here, in Vietnam?
In here, there's more problems, but I think the community is getting more accepting. What people have to realise is attitudes take time to change. People have to want to change, and society has to want to change. It doesn't have to change a great deal, because if you don't want gay marriage, don't get married to a gay. So,
if you don't want gay marriage, don't get married to a gay.
Exactly. Just because someone else two people want to get married, it doesn't affect you. Because this is what we want. We just want equality. But for the LGBT community in Vietnam, it's a little bit different because society doesn't always love you too much. So, but society will change. It's just waiting once they're acknowledged and they feel good about themselves, and then they can kind of blossom and be a bigger part of society. So that's the main thing. They have to accept themselves, and then their families and society has to accept them. And once they're accepted, everyone's happy days.
I just want to ask Andy, what's your future plan?
I really enjoy what I do, so I love teaching. Stay here, I want to explore more of the country.
Yeah.
Have you had a relationship with a Vietnamese boy yet?
No relationships with Vietnamese boys or Vietnamese women. Could be in my future plans somewhere. But it's difficult. In my Western relationships in the past, I could live with my partner. It's a very Western thing to do. You know each other for a little while, you move in, you get a place, you get a cat or a dog, and then you find out all the little things about them that you only see when you live with someone. And then you go, okay, I can accept all your flaws.
Without the makeup on.
Without the makeup, maybe they're looking a little bit fat today. You don't tell them that, obviously, don't do that. In the West, we like to live with our partners for a little while before we get married. And then you try and suggest that to a Vietnamese family, and they're like, you want to live with my daughter before you're married? And the father looks at you, the sisters, the brothers start looking at you like, what are you talking about?
Thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed speaking to you, and it was really nice for me to be able to bond with you on the bisexual thing.
Yeah, that's cool. We can have a little secret club if you want.
Yes, we can have our secret little communication corner. Okay, thank you guys for watching. You can watch